What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the beautiful Jackson Hole. You know, when we are on top of this mountain, looking out at that gorgeous sunset over top of this beautiful town, that we have some Last of Us news to talk about, and that is the case tonight. We have some updates on the playable characters for the Part 2 remasters, no return mode, and that's what I'm going to spend this video talking about. We have 10 playable characters, 2 are unlocked right from the get-go, that's Ellie and Abby. And as we found out today, their playstyle and their loadouts are now available to us. So I'm going to spend this video talking about each 10 of those characters, their playstyles and their loadouts. All right, let's start with Ellie. They have her playstyle listed as balanced, and her loadout is the handgun and the Molotov. I don't think there's a lot of takeaways with Ellie's playstyle or her loadout. It's very standard. It is a handgun, it is a Molotov. Ellie can be great at throwing a Molotov, very precise, but I guess that also depends on the person that's controlling her. So that's what they gave us with Ellie. Not much else to say about that. Balanced, handgun, Molotov, very vanilla. Obviously she's a badass, she'll make any weapon work. So let's move on to number 2. That would be Abby. Her playstyle is close combat, and her loadout is the handgun and the hammer. Now this is a little more tailored to Abby's skill in the way we see her fight and play in The Last of Us Part 2. Abby has that perk that grants her an adrenaline boost whenever you get a melee kill, and for a certain amount of time after that, it's basically just a one-hit kill, whether it's her fist or a hammer or a bat, whatever the case is. Whatever you have with Abby, it's a one-hit kill after that. So they're going to play to her strength in this game as that, and I can clearly see how that's going to be an asset to the team or any run that you're on. Whenever she gets an adrenaline boost like that and she's just smoking infected left and right. All right, number 3, we have Dina. Her playstyle is listed as crafting, and her loadout is a revolver and parts. It's showing a wrench and a screwdriver. So it's not a bottle of alcohol or a cloth. So my takeaway is that she's going to be able to craft other weapons, and maybe they're starting her out with, you know, a certain number of parts. Maybe she's got to go to a workbench, but that sounds pretty time consuming. So maybe it is crafting from a throwable perspective, maybe even something like a health pack. But, you know, for a mode like this, no return, I'm thinking like Molotovs, trap mines, stun bombs, etc. You name it. That's not the most enticing loadout or playstyle for me. But maybe for some of those modes where you can have an AI generated ally, maybe she'll be really helpful and beneficial in those modes. All right, number 4, we have Lev. His playstyle is stealth, and his loadout is the handgun and his very iconic bow and arrow. The Last of Us's only Legolas. He is a monster with the bow, whether it's from the shadows or whether it's right in front of your face. He's likely going to hit his mark. I actually love this loadout because I feel like they could have just made his loadout simply just the bow and then made it up to him to find whatever else he can pick up off the ground. They're also giving him a handgun, which I love, because not everybody's comfortable being in close quarters and shooting an enemy with a bow and arrow. Sometimes it is nice to pull that handgun out. So the fact that it gives you that like tactical diversity, weapon diversity, I really like that. I could see myself enjoying playing Lev. All right, number 5 is Jesse, and his playstyle is resourceful, and his loadout is a gun with a silencer on it, and get this, a pipe bomb. So just in case you're getting bored playing in the shadows, trying to be quiet, trying to take heads with the plastic bottle at the end of your gun and make no noise, you also have a pipe bomb in case you want to make things interesting. So that's pretty unique, it's pretty random, but also it could be a lot of fun too. So I don't know, maybe Jesse's just really good at picking up resources to craft the silencer for his gun, to craft the pipe bomb. Now before, it's kind of like maybe like a variant of Dina. Like Dina's had the like the screwdriver and the wrench down there. So maybe Dina's is crafting guns, and Jesse is going to be resourceful from crafting throwables like Molotovs, pipe bombs, trap mines, etc. If that's the case, Jesse might actually be a really fun character to play as, because I'd rather have the items to craft throwables than have the parts like Dina to craft like a gun. It just seems like that's more time consuming. And in a game like this, no return, time means everything. All right, number 6 is Yara. Her playstyle is teamwork, and her loadout is only the handgun. So I'll be real, that's the most underwhelming character playstyle and loadout out of all of them so far. it's very unimpressive. Not super enthusiastic to play as Yara, but I'll keep an open mind. I'm wondering if the single hand gun is because she loses her arm in the game. And if that is the case, which I suspect that's true, I wonder why they just don't give her two arms. Like, I know that happens eventually in a game, but I mean, do we have to make her like online character suffer because of that as well? I guess so. I guess that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna stay super true to the character. They are doing that with some of the other ones, with like Abby and Lev and how they play in the games, how they're gonna play in No Return. It just, for me as Yara, it just makes for like a really like weak character to play as. But again, like I mentioned, there are certain modes in No Return. There's 4 different modes, one of which does let you play with an AI companion. So maybe in a mode like that, like Yara like really shines. I don't know like what comes with the teamwork. All she has is the handgun. Maybe she just has your 6 all the time. She's got your back. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see with Yara. Who knows? Maybe Yara is just a diamond in the rough and she's a badass character to play as in No Return. We'll have to find out. All right, number 7. It's this man standing right in front of me, or sitting right in front of me, now riding away from me. Yes, Tommy Miller. His playstyle is sniper, and his loadout is the sniper and a handgun. That's pretty badass. We know that just like Lev has his bow and Abby has her hammer, Tommy has his sniper. I love that they're giving him that gun, and that is the playstyle that they're giving him in this game. We know, playing in the game in Ellie's flashback in day 2, he hands her the rifle to play around and clean up some infected way across the canyon. And then again in Abby's day 3, he is wrecking some WLF soldiers. So this man is a beast with the sniper, and I cannot wait to see how that plays in No Return when we're looking over his shoulder ourselves. And he's got a little handgun there in case things get messy, up close and personal, and I'm sure he's not bad hand-to-hand either. All right, number 8, we have Mel. Her playstyle is medic, and her loadout is a revolver and some health packs, right? Nothing surprising there. She is a doctor. She comes from the Jerry Anderson School of being a doctor, and she's going to be that way in No Return. Might not be the funnest character to play as on a solo run. I can't see myself playing as her on a solo run, but again, on that mode where you're allowed to have an AI companion, I can see, just like Yara, how she could possibly be an asset, right? Yara is teamwork as her playstyle, and Mel is a medic. She's got health packs on her. So they might not be fun characters to play on a solo run, but when you can play with a companion on the one, she could certainly be an asset. All right, here's the one we've all been waiting for. He's at number 9. He's not the last one on the list. I don't know why. I guess I could have changed it myself. It is Joel Miller. His playstyle, get this, it's unstoppable. I'm not lying to you. That's literally what it says, unstoppable. His loadout is his iconic revolver and a melee weapon that looks like a piece of wood with scissors sticking out of the end. I think he's going to be similar to Abby, where just up close and personal, he is a brute. He'll probably get some sort of an adrenaline boost and just be unstoppable to kill. Cannot wait to play again as this man that we're looking at right now, this handsome bastard, looking over his right shoulder again as he wields the revolver or the shotgun or a rifle or a flamethrower. You name it, Joel Miller, once again, will be controllable in a Last of Us game. So, shout out to this man right here. All right, number 10, the last person on the list here, and it's a character that I really just don't like, but I kind of like what his playstyle is, and his loadout looks pretty cool too. That is Manny. His playstyle is armory, and his loadout is the hunting pistol and that WLF assault rifle that we see Abby use in part 2. Those are 2 really badass guns when we're playing as Abby. The hunting pistol, whenever you fully mod that thing, it just drops people in one shot. And that assault rifle is pretty badass too. You can put a nice scope on it and you can just pop away. So that's, again, he's got a really cool loadout. Armory, I'm curious to see what that means. I don't know if he's just going to have like more accessible guns and can get guns quicker than the other characters can. If that's the case, he really has a chance to be an awesome and very powerful and effective player in the No Return mode. Well, I would not forgive myself if I did not talk about snubs, right? Just like any award show out there for movies or TV, we have snubs for the no return mode playable characters in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. If you look at the 5 Jacksonites, Tommy, Joel, Ellie, Dina, Jesse, I have no problem with any of those 5. There's really no one else that would really even replace any of them too. The only one that's actually in this game that you could even like say their name because they are a character that was in part 1 and again part 2, albeit minor, is Maria. That's it. But Maria is not a big enough character to put any of those other 5 that I just said on the bench, right? No one's gonna sit Tommy, Joel, Ellie, Dina, or Jesse down for Maria. So I love the 5 from Jackson. It's the 5 on the Seattle crew that I have a concern about. We have Abby, Yara, Lev, Manny, and Mel. The 2 that stood out to me at first that I didn't care for really were Mel and Yara. Now, Mel at least has like a very distinct playstyle and loadout, right? She's a medic. Again, I can see how she can be an asset in playing this game. For me, it's Yara that just doesn't make a lot of sense up front. She just has the gun and her playstyle's teamwork. We're going to have to play the game to truly understand how this is an asset and how this is useful to play no return mode with Yara. Again, she might be awesome in the mode where you have a companion with you. I can see how she would be good there. But on a solo run with one arm, assuming that she just has the one arm, again, that is going to have to be a wait and see. Now, the reason I bring Yara up is because she would be the one I would sub out for the obvious snub, which is Owen. Owen is a prominent character in The Last of Us Part 2, a prominent person in that Seattle crew, and a badass fighter. I mean, we don't really see the guy fight, but by hearing stories and context, we can assume that the man is a badass. Knows how to shoot a gun, knows how to throw a punch, knows how to wield a bat that has scissors sticking out of it. So I'm left scratching my head a little bit on that one. I do wish we would be able to see Owen in No Return. I guess it's not the last chance here. I certainly suppose that they could include a patch that makes him a playable character down the road. I don't think that this is like, hey, once the game's released, we can't add any new characters to this. So maybe Owen is added down the road. But that's the only snub I have. I would just take Yara out and put Owen in just because I think he's more of a prominent character in the game, and I'd really like to play as Owen in it. All right, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you enjoyed this video, please like. If you love The Last of Us content here, please subscribe. Right now we're doing a playthrough of Part 2. There's a playlist. We've played from the very beginning of Part 1 with Left Behind, story-wise, where it makes sense, infused into Part 1. We go back into Part 1 after we leave Left Behind, and now we're currently in Part 2. We just finished Ellie's Day 1 in Seattle. Thank you for checking out these little updates too. This is the 3rd one that I've done. I certainly don't take these lightly. I only like to make these whenever there's meaningful, impactful Last of Us news to talk about. Obviously, the events that have transpired in the past 24 hours, and I guess really over the past 2 weeks, we've really gotten some good, juicy news. There's certainly been some worthy moments to make a video here talking about them. I'm not going to make a video for these if, for example, Neil Druckmann walks by a microphone and farts 3 times and we're all speculating about how his body just had a Freudian slip and how that can possibly relate to The Last of Us Part 3. That's not the case. Again, if there's stuff to talk about in The Last of Us world, you can meet me here on the ridge with Tommy and Joel overlooking the beautiful Jackson Hole. Again, if you enjoyed this, please like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Thank you so much for your time.